My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. Next up at UFC Vegas 28, we have Montana De La Rosa versus Ariane Lipski. And I think the odds are correct here. So I think Montana, she moved her training camp to Elevation training camp. So again, we see these people move to these more successful gyms. To me, I know you guys, you look at all the improvements. That's going to happen. That's why they move. To me, it says a lot about how serious they take their career. So I think she's very serious about her career. And I think that move shows that, which is a big deal. She's a solid grappling with real wrestling. She has actual wrestling. She wrestled in school. And this is similar, not as good as Carla Esparza, but similar to the narrative I had with Carla Esparza, where this isn't an MMA fighter who learned how to wrestle. This is a wrestler who transitioned. And in the women's division, that's rare, right? To see the long-standing wrestlers make that transition. Her striking is just okay, but she's so tough and so durable and has that wrestling that she makes up for any gaps in the striking. And then we have Ariane Lipski. If it stays on its feet, she should win. She's the better striker. And she is at American Top Team now as well. This is the second fighter we broke down today that moved her camp to American Top Team. So she's definitely going to improve. It also tells me she's taking her career very seriously. This is going to be grappler versus striker. If it stays striking, Lipski wins. If we go the grappling route, De La Rosa wins. Daniel, what do you think?
Dan, did you make note of that, please? She's at ATT now. Go ahead.
You know where I'm going no matter what here. Listen, I think this is going to be a good fight, and like you said, it's wrestler versus striker. I think Lipski down on ATT now I'm sure has been improving. So I'm rolling with her no matter what. I'm going to take her at the plus odds and count on her being able to keep this fight standing. But I totally understand if people think De La Rosa's wrestling is going to be enough to get it done. I think it's a tough fight across the board, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm very intrigued to see the improvements Lipski's made, because if she can keep it standing, she'll win on the feet. But man, like you said, De La Rosa was a wrestler first, right? She's not learning wrestling on the job, and that's usually, especially in the women's division, that's a tough thing to deal with. So I'm always rolling with ATT. I got Lipski, but not touching it for DraftKings, not touching it for bets. And for striking, I'll go with I'm going to go with less.
Yeah, the strike line's interesting because if it stays standing the whole time, Lipski, I think, blows past 51.5. But if it goes to the ground, De La Rosa should get to the 88. So that is.
I think Lipski will get taken down. I mean, De La Rosa is just too good of a wrestler. The question is can she get up?
Yeah.
Can she make De La Rosa work and have to have those striking exchanges? If she can do that, she's got a chance to win this fight.
Yep, and make her pay. Make her pay early on. So, Jacob, what are your thoughts here? How do you see this fight going?
I have a lot of thoughts of Ariane Lipski. As far as fighting goes, with Montana De La Rosa, this is how good Vivi is. My former lock of the week, who won her fight.
Dude, move on.
She beat Montana De La Rosa. Montana De La Rosa now is a $9,300 fighter against a very good fighter in Ariana. So how good is Vivi that she beat Montana De La Rosa? And Montana De La Rosa is a big favorite, as she is. Like you mentioned, her wrestling, I think she should win this fight. I'm going with Ariana. And it's not because of her Instagram. It's not because of anything like that. It's a little bit because of that, but she is a very, very good fighter. She made the transition to ATT, and you know who she talked about? One of the first people she trains with was Amanda Nunes. So I think she's learning very, very quickly. She's learning from the best. she got in trouble with takedowns. I think a lot of people think that, she's going to get dominated on the ground because they saw her on her back. One of the reasons that she was on her back in those last couple of fights was because she was going for takedowns of her own. They were kind of body lock takedowns, and then she was just kind of getting reversed. I think if she just avoids that, she can keep it on her feet. She's been training ATT, so she knows she's getting good training. And then she just pieces up Montana De La Rosa on her feet, just like Vivi did. I think she's as good a striker as Vivi, and Vivi beat her by, stuffing the takedowns. I think she can do the same. I didn't want to really put her in my lineup for $6,900, but because I had the lock of the week and everything, the other lock of the week, but she is definitely the backup lock of the week. So I have her to win the fight.
I will say, I think Montana wins. I think the wrestling is just too much. But $9,300, I'm not doing that. I think she wins, but not $9,300 win. She would have to get a stoppage pretty early for that to be worth it. And I don't know if that will happen. And the strike line, I don't know what I'm going to do with the strike line. I think I will go less. I think I'll go less. I think Montana will get the takedowns. But I don't know how crazy busy she'll be on top. And then Lipski will be less because she'll be on her back. So I'm going to go less on this strike line. It's not the most confident I've been. But if you want to triple your money and give this line a try, go to playmkf.com/WeWantPicks. And if you want to bet on this fight, go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. And we have a bunch of different promo options for you. Select the best one, play some money, and win some money.